been claimed that the so-called ISIS bride, Shamima Begum, was smuggled into Syria by a Canadian spy. You'll remember that she left her East London home for Syria. She was 15 at the time, a schoolgirl, to join ISIS. It was all more than 7 years ago, this. She's persistently denied any involvement in terror activities and is challenging a government decision to remove her citizenship, something her lawyers say should be revoked after the latest report suggesting she was effectively trafficked there. Canada and the UK government have both declined to comment. It's an intelligence matter. The former newspaper editor and media consultant Neil Wallis joins us now. Hi to you, Neil. I was talking to Rakib Hassan an hour ago, who said this is just the latest instalment in an attempt, a pretty plainly false attempt, to rehabilitate somebody whose actions were simply beyond the pale.
I don't think I disagree with that. I quite accept that she was very young. But what was more to the point, I think, very young when she went there. But more to the point, I think, is how she reacted when she was found in a camp there by the Times reporters, and how she spoke then, and her lack of remorse, her belief that there was nothing to be ashamed of, that her unwillingness to turn against ISIS, I think is the thing that mattered. She was plainly a willing member of ISIS. Do we want someone like that back in this country? I don't think we do.
She's 15. It's a question I've pondered on myself, because I take the view, maybe you do too, Neil, certainly many of our viewers do, that there seems to be an attempt, when it comes to Islamist terror, to try and discount the actions of perpetrators, to displace their motives. They were groomed, they were brainwashed, they were mentally ill. They weren't really persuaded by a coherent set of arguments that they found compelling. Oh yes, very often they were, and that's something that's happened for centuries, eons. Angry young men, sometimes angry young women, motivated to change the world by a set of ideas. I think that's all true, but it's also true she was only 15.
I think you're right, Colin, but I think the first part of your argument, I think, really comes to it. This wasn't a spur of the moment thing. This was a decision by her and two of her friends. They planned this extremely cleverly. They weren't a couple of three naive kids. I so wish they hadn't been brainwashed as they were, and many people get brainwashed. But then you have to take the responsibility for your actions. And I'm afraid she was 15 going on 25. And they knew the horrors that they were going to, because it was all over the media. It was all around them in their world. They got excited by it. They found it glamorous. They found it something they wanted to be part of. And then they were party to it for a long time. And there was no feeling whatsoever. When the Times and other media got to her, found her some years later, of remorse. She had plenty of time to, if you like, find what you might call buyer's remorse. She lived with these people. She saw what they did. She went out of her way to say no, she wasn't shocked by seeing beheaded bodies. This is not someone who realized they'd made some terrible, tragic mistake. What happened with her is that she now finds herself in a situation she doesn't like. As a result of her actions, she has lost 3 children. And I don't see what is to the betterment of Britain to bring this woman home.